Jumps racing is an extension of thoroughbred horse racing. It involves horses running around the track at high speed and negotiating obstacles. In jumps racing, there is a much higher incidence of falls and deaths as compared to flat racing. And the obvious reason for that is that the horses have obstacles put in front of them, which is why we see numerous falls and too many deaths occurring in jumps racing. We see lots of broken necks, broken legs, broken shoulders, and other injuries, all associated with jumps racing. Its history in Australia is almost as long as horse racing itself. It's existed for almost 150 years, and in most states. However, today, it only exists in two, Victoria and South Australia. Racing Victoria is the governing body that oversees all forms of horse racing in Victoria, including jumps racing. One of their key objectives is to, quote, value our people, our community, and the welfare of the horse. In recent years, Racing Victoria has received much criticism as the welfare of the horse was clearly not being addressed due to the falls and fatalities present in jumps racing.
The announcement today is that the Racing Victoria Limited Board has today determined that 2010 jumps racing season will be the last racing season of jumping in Victoria. But the safety of riders and horses in all forms of racing is of paramount importance, and we will continue to do whatever is practicable to make jumps racing less hazardous during its final year in 2010.
Racing Victoria's announcement that jumps racing will continue beyond 2010 despite not meeting criteria that they put in place really highlighted that Racing Victoria could not be trusted. They lied to the public, they lied to us, they lied to everyone, and they needed to be held accountable.
Attention Racing Victoria. This is the Coalition for the Protection of Racehorses. We are here to discuss the recent decision to allow jumps racing to continue. Jumps racing failed the KPIs as expected. Jumps racing failed the KPIs and you've allowed this sport to continue. 2 deaths this year and 15 falls, do you think that's acceptable? Mr. Hines, what about the KPIs?
I'm asking you politely.
Well, we asked you politely to ban jumps racing for a number of years and you gave us your word. And you broke that promise. What about the KPIs? Sure, you think 2 horse deaths is acceptable, but what about the 15 falls? You gave everyone your word, Mr. Hines. You lied to the public.
You guys are here representing an industry that has no regard for the horses. The horses have no choice, and they rely on you people to look after them, and you do nothing for them. And that is why we are here, and that is why we'll continue to be here for as long as we need to.
Eleven horses were killed in 2011 in jumps racing. The year before that, there were 5. The year before that, there were 13. And the year before that, there were 15 horses killed in jumps racing. Racing Victoria will attempt to call these accidents. But if you warn the organisation that these are going to continue to occur and they do nothing to address it, then these are in fact incidents. If this situation cannot be addressed, then jumps racing has no future.
What's the fence? Hear them? Hear them?
You must ask yourself why Racing Victoria allows jumps racing to continue, when in fact most states have abandoned it. In 1903, Queensland ended jumps racing. In 1954, Western Australia ended jumps racing. And jumps racing was discontinued in 2007 in Tasmania because it was unpopular. In 1997, New South Wales went further. They banned it and in fact made it illegal. And anybody who participates in jumps racing in New South Wales can be thrown in jail for 6 months. People have grown tired of witnessing the public executions of animals for entertainment. The Coalition for the Protection of Racehorses will not rest until jumps racing ends throughout Australia.